Greetings, I'm Epictetus, and this is Epic Tech, and we're going to jump right into it because we have got a lot of work to do. I've done a little tiny bit overnight, and not a lot, not much. I finished up that motor over there. I kind of mirrored the front pattern on the back, and because I realized I was building it at the same level. I was building it like down at this level. Oops. And the whole point of this is that these grinders are lower than everything else so that I can, you know, grind things and not bump into stuff. So, silly me. Anyway. And as I was working, I was realizing this conveyor was getting in the way, and I was looking and I was thinking, how am I going to connect to this without, you know, getting in the way? Because I need the parts from that, and I want the parts from that. Actually, come to think of it, well, I had this crazy idea, and now I'm realizing it's completely unnecessary, because the only reason I need to connect to that is for the parts, but I can just walk over here and pull the parts. Well, that was silly. Well, never mind. I had this idea that I was going to grind down all that and put a connector on it, and yeah, it's just not necessary. That would have been fun. But completely unnecessary. So we're not going to do that because we have plenty of... That's loud. It's like really loud. We have plenty more things to work on today. I'm not going to put anything else in there. This is no longer connected. Not a problem. I'm not quite ready to disconnect and have this thing free floating, so I'm going to just put this in, come on, there. And then now I can disconnect, and it's not going to go anywhere. They're separate grids. Heavy metal connectors here, or protectors is what I meant to say. Words. Silly words. So I was also thinking about something else. I had a lot of people giving me some really good suggestions. Thank you very much for those who commented. One of the things that people mentioned is that, you know, I say that I'm not going to get into battle, but, it'll, you know, I don't know that, is what it really comes down to. So I should probably prepare for battle, even if the plan is not to get into battle. So heavy armor blocks are going to be involved. And what I'm thinking, let's do it that way. What I'm thinking is I don't want to have heavy armor blocks throughout the whole thing. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with, well, weight issues. You know what? I also want to put in a basic assembler. No, not a basic assembler, which, by the way, for those who are not aware of this, there is a new version of Space Engineers coming out. And the new version... How the heck am I going to connect these? I'll figure out in a second. The new version changes a lot, and it's coming very soon. I mean, maybe a couple of weeks is what people are guessing. Nobody's 100% sure. But when that happens, I don't know exactly how all this is going to work. The arc furnace is going away. It is becoming what they call a basic refinery. There's a whole new progression system. It's very cool, and I'm excited about it. But it might make a lot of this design... Well, I mean, we'll change it. We don't have to completely, you know, remove everything or whatnot. There is a smaller version of the assembler that's only one block, called the basic assembler. So we might want to put one of those in instead of the full-sized one, but it can't make everything. The assembler can. So that, yeah, it shouldn't, you know, it's not going to ruin everything. So I was looking at these outer edges here, the way that I've got the armor set up so that it's kind of these slopes. And I'm thinking that I could put in these heavy armor half blocks. And not only will that match up with the existing armor pretty nicely, but it's also going to protect my core, like the most expensive bits of my machine. My ship. My you know what I mean. So overall, I'm thinking that I want to kind of make these bands of heavy armor. They're not going to completely protect the ship all the way around, but they're at least going to make it so it doesn't fall apart. Maybe they'll, I mean, unless of course whatever is hitting me it gets through the heavy armor, but it'll make it less likely to fall apart. It is time to make this go away. Especially since it's no longer connected to parts. Whoops. Where do those parts go? Oh, they fell through the glass. How did that happen? How'd they end up down here? Weird. So back here in the tail section, I guess, is where I'm going to have my medical bay and cryo chamber. Probably won't bother with a cryo chamber. We'll see. Look at that. See him piped up and giving me oxygen and hydrogen and everything. It's awesome. I'm wondering if it might make sense just to kind of keep the gyros right there. We're going to start with one, and we'll see if that's anywhere close to good enough. And we can always add more. And I'm thinking I wouldn't mind having some forward, like a large atmo for forward thrust. Whoops. Oh. Give me your stuff. Alright, now we have a little bit more room to work with. It's a little bit sad, but, you know, gotta move on sometimes. So let's see. Will that fit? Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Now I just have lots of parts to add to all of this, but it's connected fairly well, I'd say. Actually, let's go ahead and put in this half-block band right down the center. Maybe I'll continue this band up to the front, and I can do this kind of shape. Oh, of course. Of course. Well, maybe instead of that, there. So I don't need the height here. Like this. How am I going to connect that? Oh, like that. There we go. I'm liking the overall shape of this, but what do I want to do with my bridge up here? Let's do this. If I do kind of just these slopes, and then up here I can do a 3x2 window. Inverted. There we go. Like that. And I know that's not going to give me a lot of protection, but I shouldn't need protection up here, he says, without really being very sure about himself. But we'll see. Now, I do have a little bit of a problem now with the design. Come on, be that way. There you go. And that is, how do I connect that shape to this shape. There isn't really a great way to do that in Space Engineers, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll do something that doesn't look quite perfect, and it'll be fine. So the rest of the armor here is going to be light because of weight and components. There, that looks pretty good. I mean, I still have a transition to make between there and there, if I want to, even. And then, of course, the back of this thing, which I'd like to kind of slope down at least a little bit. I want that center area to really stand out in a way. And actually, you know what? If I were to put... Let's see. I've got I want a 2x1 slope. I can never figure these out. I need to go... There we go. Okay, can I grab the parts? I don't have room for everything, but I can at least set it down. That looks kind of cool, huh? I know I originally said that I wanted these to stand out, but I think it can stand out a little bit further back. And then I can do that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It's gotten suddenly very dark in here. I can't imagine why. I think we need to put up some lights. Put in one there, one there, there, one there, and one there. Radius, maximum, intensity, down. This is what I like to do. Then you don't need as many lights actually around, but it doesn't feel like it's completely blinding you when you walk in, you know? I think I'm going to change this layout. That feels a little bit better. And then later on I could put in a cryopod if I feel like I need one, but I don't. I don't feel like I need one. And I still have room to put in other things over here. I don't know what I'm going to put here, but I'm sure that as we work I'm going to be like, hey, I forgot, I need one of those things. Okay, so I've got my interior vent. I just realized I need an exterior vent as well for pulling in oxygen. Let's see. There's a specific spot I'm looking for here. I think it's... Is it here? Yes. So I think I can put a vent right here. Haha. And because it's... and because I'm using half blocks up here... Oh, I don't have all the components I need. That's okay. Because I'm using half blocks, it, like, fits in just perfectly. I like that. So this guy is going to be air vent intake. He's going to be set for depressurize. Okay, it's a beginning. I do need to be able to get in and out, though. Maybe it should be here. And I can do a sliding door. And I think that and that are all that's needed to make that thing pressurized. So we're about to find out. Oh, it is. We are pressurized. Yeah. Excellent. So in the next version of Space Engineers, which I've mentioned earlier in the video, they actually have added in a real reason to pressurize. In the new version, there's now a temperature mechanic, which means that when it's really cold or really hot, your suit has to work overtime to, you know, keep you from boiling or freezing or whatever. And that means you're using more energy. So if you pressurize, you're pressurizing with temperate air, and it means that your suit doesn't have to use energy, which means that you don't have to go back for energy as often. So it's nice to have things pressurized. So you don't have to recharge so often. Cool, huh? So I've been staring at this thing for a while, trying to figure out how to do two things. One is landing gear, and the other is wings. Landing gear and wings. Landing gear and wings. And I thought, well, what if I made them one and the same? Is that a crazy idea? I want to give this a try. So we're going to give this a try on the left, and then we'll duplicate it on the right when it comes time. So basically my idea is this is going to be kind of a gull wing sort of concept. So when this is rotated down and it's acting like a landing gear, it's going to have to be kind of an L shape. Maybe I should actually work on that first. Ah. Right, that's a problem. Let's get this thing built up so that we can actually keep it in the right position. So rotor. I really like this thing to be at 0, 0, or just 0. So if we do that... Whoa! Whoops. Well, that was definitely not what I wanted. Something like that. So this will be it closed. But then it will rotate up 90 degrees when flying. What if I were to attach another identical wing? Is it intersecting with the ground? I think it's intersecting with the ground. Okay, let's raise that up. Yeah, like that. That is one goofy looking wing. And then I was hoping that I could figure out a way to fit the landing gear kind of... Let's try doing a goofy thing and see what happens. So this is too close to the ground to be able to lock in, but that's okay. I wouldn't normally want this part of the ship to be that close to the ground. My other thought was to put a rotor under here and have a landing gear facing out front and then just kind of rotate it down, which is starting to sound a little simpler and probably a better idea. It's actually a lot better idea. Okay, if I put that there, can I fit this? Yes. Beautiful. That is exactly what I wanted. A nice, simple, movable, lockable landing gear. Yeah, I just realized I don't have an antenna on board this. I'm sure would be nice to have. You know what? I'm gonna have some fun with this. Is that any good? Just for fun, like actually leave this here. This little opening down here. I don't know. Alright, let's get this set up. Alright, rotor 3 is actually going to be rotor LG for landing gear. And let's just before I forget which one's which, its upper limit is going to be 0. And its lower limit is going to be, yeah, -90, which is the same as 270, I believe. I don't know. We'll see. Yes, it is. I want to make sure I can have some front armor of some kind. Ooh, it didn't like that. What are you bumping around for? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. We'll have to get some sort of, you know, script or timer blocks or something to get those all figured out, but for now it should be fine. And it's well below the bottom of these grinders. I think for now I'm going to do a rotor lock. Thinking let's set the rotor displacement as far in this way as possible. It's a little bit closer to center. Again, not like I was expecting it to be centered, but that should be fine. It looks really silly. It looks like those dragons in the cartoons that have wings that are too small for their body. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, this is what I like to call a start over moment. So we're going to start over, or really give up on the whole concept at this point. I do want to hear feedback on that. If you guys have better ideas, feel free to let me know, either in the video feedback channel on Discord, which would be great. You can post pictures and stuff there, which is a lot easier than in YouTube comments, but also feel free to write in YouTube comments. Hey, speaking of which, let's take a break for a moment and talk about pressing that little alarm bell and the subscribe button and the thumbs up button and all those things. Did you know that if you don't press that alarm bell, then YouTube can end up burying my channel and you can miss future episodes? Isn't that annoying? I think it's annoying, especially because it means less views for me. Anyway, commercial break aside, what do you say we get some more thrusters on here and get this thing taken off? As it currently is, it's not going to be very maneuverable. It's going to slide from left to right, forward and backward. So we really need thrusters going left, right, forward, and backward. I mean, I could use the vector thrust script, but that would mean putting those guys on rotors as well, and that guy on a rotor. I don't want to retrofit this ship quite yet. We will consider doing that in the future. For now, I think I'm just going to put in some thrusters just to make this thing not slide. I'm just going to slap these things down for right now. There. And there. And then I need some braking thrust. I need 13 more motors. Is there anything left around here? Are there any motors in here? 8. And 6 more. That's 14. Haha. There we go. So, theoretically, this thing is ready to fly. I mean, except that one thing that I forgot to do that's gonna cause the whole ship to be completely uncontrollable, fly off and destroy itself instantly. But, you know, happens. So, those guys are functioning. Pretty sure inertial dampeners should be on. You know what? The one other thing I want to do is set the landing gear to auto lock. And then that way, if this thing does fall, it should lock and... oh, we'll see. Ready? Moment of truth. Ha! Oh, wait. Is it still counted as a ship? Or as a station? It might be still counted as a station. Convert to ship. Okay, yeah, well, fair enough. but I am actually flying. Look at that. Upward thrust, no problem. Forward thrust, no problem. Braking thrust, very not working, but that's okay. Rotation is a little rough. Yeah, we're going to need another gyro. Okay. I expected that. Haha! We are locked in place. Excellent. We can go 6 hours on our current usage, but if I turn off inertial dampeners, we can go 124 days. Beautiful. You know, a second gyro I think is probably going to be enough. I just need 3 more motors, and I think it's time to start scavenging this guy. We'll start with stuff inside. Oh, like it's gyro. Okay. Now, the next thing I need to do is test these conveyors to make sure that they're actually functioning, because I know that some of them are rotated wrong. So there's an easy way to do that. If we throw 10 steel plates in there, we know this one's okay. You know, I'm just going to go through and put them in all of them. And if I find plates still in there after I'm done, then I know that that one doesn't work. Nothing. Nothing. Okay, so this one is not attached to anything. Or is that one? Or that one. So it may be just the middle row. Yeah. Yeah, it's the middle row. So, that is easy to take care of. We rip this thing out. And then we... Why? Why wasn't that? And then it should be connecting to the conveyors on either side. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, I think this conveyor and this conveyor are not attached to the guys on either side. So if this one is connected left and right, and this one is connected this direction, then this conveyor isn't connected to anything. I get it. I see what the problem is. We'll rotate it this way. So now it's connected to that conveyor, which is definitely connected into the system. There we go. Okay, so we just need to rotate both of these other ones. Easy solve. Should we see this thing actually work now? I want to see this thing actually grind some stuff down. You know what I mean? And I think we're going to start with that floating block up there that's been bugging me for so long. Alright, inertial dampeners back and on. Parking brake off. You're useless. I don't know why they have that. Alright, landing gear. Switch lock. There we go. Oh, much better with the second gyro, though third one wouldn't hurt. Fire those guys up, and we're going to lower down nice and slowly, just as the sun is setting. Of course. Like a charm. Beautiful. Well, I realized we didn't get to see like a full test. And we're at the end of the episode. So, I'm going to park this guy. And next time we'll actually get to try it out and do some grinding and flying, and we'll probably make some changes, I think. Because while it does fly okay, it still drifts a bit. And we're having power issues as well, so I'm going to need some batteries or larger reactors or more reactors or something. Guys, if you enjoyed the episode, you know what to do. And, I'll see you next time on Epic Tech.